are you? So, I am at New Earth Haven in Ubud and spent a really amazing evening with with Sasha, who's the founder and creator of this project and this whole site, and then got to meet like the entourage and I guess other pioneers, and I got to meet a professor from Humanitatea University. All of these things I must put links into because it's incredibly heartwarming and eye-opening and mind-blowing for me. Because some of you know, I had those awakenings from a paradigm shift, and it's almost like this whole life path has led me here, because now these are other humans pioneering it and creating it. And there is a certain element of a web being created, and part of the share today was really about deepening my own connection and knowing to share with a more direct connection, and the depth of creatorship, the integrity, the authenticity of creatorship. And ultimately, you know, this whole game, as it were, is about our ability to manifest versus being victims, being unconscious creators. And this journey has been a kind of wild ride of ownership. No ownership externally is necessary. The only knowing and ownership necessary is within. And speaking with some of these awesome people. Oh, hi Karen, how are you? Yeah, speaking with some others and just saying, you know, like, even, what did he say? He said something about, you know, we were just back and forth chatting, and then saying, like, you know, knowing thyself. Hey God, hey Rochelle. Knowing thyself. And he said, yeah, and even the self you can eventually like let go of and just merge with the ultimate knowing, which to me is really about this. I've spoken of it before, but like the divine void. There really is no external reality. Yeah, just be choosing. And yet, there's a certain aspect of complexity when it comes to the matrix, when it comes to the holographic projection of a certain frequency, which is enslavement and darkness and stuff most of us don't really want to have to think about. Satanic ritual, siphoning energy, stealing from one another, rather than new paradigm, new earth, which is this simply, and again, this is just scientific. So new earth is just a more harmonious and sacred geometric frequency. And as we vibrate that through the knowing, new earth, new paradigm, or new realities are made manifest via the vision. So true pioneers, I can honestly say, are visionaries. And there's been a great amount of confirmation, affirmation that there is a lot of insidiousness in every facet of organized so-called good or bad structured reality in the holograph, in the hologram, in the matrix, that anything externalized, anything and one thing to really highlight is that sense of authenticity, which again I've been kind of feeling into as I've popped out the other side of again so-called spiritual communities, because the intuition has sort of felt into these distortions, right? I.e. densities, fear triggers in people that are still being bombarded, and so they're still carriers of a disempowered enslavement patterning. And it is physical in the sense of like, how, you know, people might say, well, how do we disenfranchise the system? Well, and this is coming from the man himself, but like, stop paying taxes, stop feeding, like literally giving our resources to a corrupted agenda, or simply a darker, lower frequency agenda. It's all spectrum. It's all spectrum. It's all fractals of light, essentially, that we as beings vision out. But even our beingness is in some respects, some of our aspects of our beingness, and this is, I would say, where the book comes in, the Fearless Life Guide, is it's the limbic system. It is our emotional body that is how we in our beingness can transform our bodies, and thus have access to a more sacred or more divine or higher frequency of thought. And taking, and this is within my own self now, taking non-judgment to another layer of, it is all a choice, and there is no victimhood. So being a little more mindful of not judging either polarity. So again, in my people-pleasing or past paradigm, it would be, you know, negative judgment is bad or whatever, but positive judgment is good, and actually either one, and elevating the frequency of the creatorship to really be the one, essentially. Be the one creator of your reality, and not to, in any means possible anyway, not to feed that hologram, that holographic state. Which again, it is our choosing. It's just as we awaken to our power, it's the depth of and the layers of the choosing. Hi you guys, how are you? Merry Christmas to all of you. So yeah, on another note, it's really beautiful here. This is New Earth Haven, so this is in the jungle north of Ubud, and the whole place is exquisitely designed, and I'm sitting with a lot. I'm digesting a lot from the experience. in how to become more clear and effective in discussing all of this stuff with people. In the knowing, and seeing just in the last 24 hours, seeing slight disempowered energies that were still manifesting in my world, and kind of just seeing them, and now thinking, oh, okay, so I don't need that, and I can just be me and vision me. And that is a true kind of ownership of conscious creatorship, is just letting everything come to you, in divine, not even timing, because I'm going to be a lot, I'm going to really work on making a little bit more use of the way I'm using language, and be more mindful of constructed, love you, Rochelle, within holographic, so time, money, and fear, which again is just aligning with a pioneer who's, I guess you could say, just a little more embodied, because they're fully manifesting their chosen reality in a state of non-victimhood and conscious creatorship, and at a kind of high level within even the holograph, so, and or like high level in the matrix, because he's in discussion with world leaders and pioneers and royalty, and in the light and the dark. That's what's really fascinating to me, and why it affirms some of my like icky feeling of sort of jumping ship from the spiritual stories, or the even spiritual communities or yoga communities, is that they're still totally hooked into the matrix economy, right? And if, for me, the truth of it is new earth, living in peace, living in harmony with the vessel, and elevating conscious creatorship as a form on this planet, in harmony with nature and earth. And so there's no duality, there's only a recognition of the one. And so once you peel back a lot of the veils, as a lot of these people have done, there's no judgment. And so it's like you can come into contact with leaders that the media would deem are like evil dictators, and then actually, he's gone and met them and been like, it's not true. There's another layer to all of it. I hope my connection lasts, but I'm just wanting to kind of show you the pool and just show you the beauty of the place. It's really inspiring to me, because it's kind of always what I like visioned, as far as new paradigm not being, well, this is actually going way back, but like this idea that New Earth would, there'd be crazy chaos and burned, and then new paradigm, it would take aeons and years for us to pioneer and build these exquisite sites on the planet. And now, and like being able to live in luxury, being able to live really well in luxury, just on a higher frequency, so we're not doing this war cycle, enslavement cycle, I guess just like, yeah, death cycle on this planet. Instead of being the living dead, we awaken, become the divine creator, which is just living in harmony with self, as one with this planetary field and the whole universe ultimately. And then allowing what's made to make manifest, basically. It's sort of that simple. It is actually really simple. It's only in the holograph that things are complicated because of the multi-layered and like the ways and the loops that we're in, and like the patterns that we're in, as far as, yeah, our investment. And there's investment, and that's part of people, good and bad, perpetuating it because they're invested in it. Their ego or fractaled self is invested in that projection. And so of course, you wouldn't want to lose your power. You wouldn't want to lose that investment because of that slight disempowered energy. I'm just aware that this is it. This is, new paradigm humans, and then scientists meeting again university professors who are angling it very much from a scientific point of view as a necessary bridge, and being affirmed again with the Fearless Life Guide from an amazing woman from Afghanistan who's a documentarian, and she fully feels the resonance with the teachings. So the Fearless Life Guide is like a nice, I guess, legacy, and for humans to ultimately transform the cells in their body and their DNA, but also ultimately to disengage any fear patterns that are alive in them, right? That are that are cellular function in their beingness. So that freedom break must come through ownership. As far as I'm aware, there's no other way, except for like a lot of the masses who are mainly just, I guess, sheep or followers. And I don't say that in any derogatory way. It just seems to be the case. And so this is for leader types or visionary types or authentic types, and more of us who believe in vision, new earth, new paradigm, new earth, and then endeavor transformation via owning the totality of our creative output up to any point and in any vision. And then the more we vibrate that, the more and more of us are building the new earth grid again, which is just more beautiful. It's just more abundant, and there's no entanglement with an economy, because that siphoning economy is not real currency. It's just stealing and hoarding, and again, enslavement and insidiousness and all of that. So we have that potential to disengage the patterning from within our bodies, which allows us to kind of open mind to this more voidal reality. And then we all have, and this is the beauty of it, it's like every one of us has an innate vision, if this resonates, of course. And again, if it doesn't, this is part of releasing any ownership over other, or like responsibility or burden over other, is that when it comes to a lot of the masses, they simply will be swayed. They're not visionaries, pioneers necessarily, they're inhabitants. And so that this new construct is simply like ding, and then once if that feels better or looks shinier or what have you, eventually there'll just be the critical mass, the tipping point, that naturally that will be a step into the agency as a collective agreement. And there's no love light, there's none of that. It's just authenticity, and the ownership of authenticity is that divine union of basically owning your darkness as well, and owning your ownership of the false timelines or the false projections or any of that. Living in so much gratitude. It's been a great year, right, you guys? So I'm looking forward to this coming year. I think the next couple of years are going to be phenomenal, and quite, you know, awesome, mind-blowingly awesome. Can you guys hear, like, all the creatures, like the crickets and all the sounds of the jungle? And Ubud is a really amazing place as well. Sasha told me, like, some of the history of it is pretty amazing. So basically all the shares as well have been kind of leading to this, of like, we're living in it. This is New Earth, and frequency aligns frequency, and no matter what, if you stay the course, you'll manifest, see the new. And it's there's some layers to it, but people are on it. And this is kind of nice, is that everyone's got, yeah, there's definitely roosters. One of the mornings when I was back in Balingen, I spoke to my mom, Karen, and she could hear the roosters, what do you say, crowing? And she loved it, basically. And I think it's wonderful as well to wake up to the sun. So yeah, no victimhood. Authenticity is ownership of polarity, which is, you gotta own the darkness as well as your ability to vision, focus, vibrate, feel, allow, be, know, knowing. And there's nothing else. There's no need to ascend. There's no agenda. There's just you. It's just you creating your world. Unless you keep complaining or keep pretending to be a victim of some god-awful matrix reality, don't feed it. We don't need to feed it. It's over. It is over as well. That's been confirmed by Sasha as well. And even the timeline of some of our intuitive like things around the Vatican and around certain darker frequencies projecting this holographic reality. It is over. Like the spiritual warfare, you could say, has been won. And so everything that's being, and this was reflected in the Luna shares and everything, but everything that's being attempted as far as like more war, more terror, more poverty, all of it is like last ditch attempts, basically. And then there's the event horizon, which is like another of up level to like be vibrating new frequency, basically. I hope that made sense to you guys. I feel there's slightly new frequencies in connection to heart field, and also a broader a deeper understanding of non-judgment in regards to really going for it as far as your manifestation. There's a few topics now that have dropped in as far as like the myth of law of attraction and or debunking gurudom and stuff like that. And just because of like the awesomeness, it's not just Sasha. Basically last night there's a kung fu master, Samuel Wok is here, and some like epic rock star guy that of course I don't, like you guys know, I don't connect to the mainstream at all, but then this would have been like a massive rock star, I guess, in the 80s maybe. I'll look it up. I'll let you know. Yeah, and then this really rad documentarian, fashion designers, just epic creators, you know, and quiet and kind and gracious and generous. So it's not just one interview. It's like I'm gonna interview as many of them who want to interview me with me as possible, and I'll sort of pick and choose the juicy nuggets for Spirituality Simplified, and then I'll share here as well some of the best bits. I'll probably share here with you guys as well as on the course, and then have extended video content for the course. So this is amazing. It's amazing. Happy. Have a great day. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go live again, you guys. I think I might just enjoy my last day because I'm flying tomorrow, and I'm gonna enjoy the pool. I'm gonna enjoy this place and these people, and obviously get some work done as well. I'm gonna definitely just plonk. I'm gonna get my kit set up downstairs at some point, and then just grab people as and when, because they're gonna be coming and going and doing different things. Yeah, for sure. Aren't we all blessed? Love you guys so much. You're all wonderful. I so appreciate you being here. I look forward to sharing more and, yeah, refining, honing, becoming even more clear. So this is really exciting. So yeah, I don't know if I'll share again until I'm back in England. I might not be able to stop myself though. You guys know what I'm like. I might end up going live tomorrow morning after conducting all the interviews. One final note, I do feel really fantastic being off Facebook right now. I feel a lot more present, and I feel a lot more able to focus and be engaged with people. So yeah, love you guys loads. Have a wonderful day, and I'll speak to you soon. Peace out.